what up everybody, it's Anime Junkie and welcome to part 7 to What If Deku Was a Villain. And now, let's get to the intro.
I'm not the one you wanna fuck with. Late nights messing up my sleep, so I'm flustered. Taking out aggression with my pen because I trust it. Right in front of get myself a lamb color custom. For the game, leave him hanging by his chain. Click bang, feeling rage, feeling fire in my brain, feeling sane. And it's slowly feeling flames with the fire from my brain. Bringing more, please, no glory.
Okay guys, last time we left off, Deku just finished or came in first in the sports festival, and now he's basically going to his agency. He's going to Endeavor's agency because he has a flame quirk and he's probably close to mastered it, but he would like to know something about from Endeavor. And so let's go to the Stain arc. Ida does die here because he was killed by Stain. He is gonna be killed because Deku has no intention to saving some student who's just in his class or is planning on to become a hero and has potential to become a really strong hero. So he has no intention to save that and create any future enemies because he is gonna be the boss of villains and the next successor of All For One. So yeah, so he probably won't be, he knows that Ida's probably gonna go to Stain and try to attack him or kill him, but he's like, I shouldn't intervene in that because, I mean, if Ida dies, that's good for me, and if Stain Killer basically dies, that's good for me too, because Stain Killer, or what am I saying, Stain Killer, the Hero Killer, he respects All Might, and Deku's main goal is to actually kill All Might, so he's gonna get in his way anyway. So if Ida ends up killing him, it's gonna be fine, and if Stains ends up killing Ida, he's probably gonna get rid of the threat in the future, so he's fine with that too, and he's probably gonna kill out Stain in the future too. So the villain attack is there. The Nomus are all going around, and basically whenever Nomu actually attacks Deku, he does take it out, but a lot of them don't really attack Deku, and he just stays there and basically acts like a newbie because he's like, oh, he's just because people can excuse him. He's like, oh, this is a newbie, he probably doesn't know how to fight villains or anything, so he's probably scared or something. So soon the tension dies out, and basically two people's bodies basically get discovered in the what is it called, in the alleyways, and they basically see them stabbed and basically killed, and they bled out, and they probably thought this was the hero killer. His next victim was Native, that's what people thought of it, and basically Ida probably came there to save Native and was killed. And some people actually think this because, oh, he's becoming a hero and stuff, but that wasn't his intentions. And some people that did know what happened to Ingenium, he probably already know he's probably after revenge or something like that, so that's why. Everyone gets back. They basically are shocked to hear the news about Ida being killed by the Stain, or hero killer Stain, and everybody's sad. Everybody that was close to Ida sad, and Ingenium basically in the hospital got this news, and he was really angry and sad at the same time. He was crying, but he couldn't really feel his body and couldn't really feel himself crying, so it's pretty sad, and Deku's just trying to hold in his smile and basically trying to act sad. So they do the final exam, which they verse the students, or not the students, the teachers, and they do that, and they get All Might. Deku and Bakugo basically team up. They work together. Deku hates the fact that he has to work with Bakugo, but if it makes him pass and go to the next level in his training, he's like, I'm fine with it. And he basically helps Bakugo out, and they eventually basically run out. And he's the one who basically runs out and leaves Bakugo, and they end up passing. So let's move on to the forest training camp, which is the place where the villains are gonna attack. Deku does know the villains are gonna be attacking, so yeah, let's move on to after the training, or 1 week training. The villains attack, everybody's scared and stuff, and Aizawa notices this. He goes outside and he runs into a fake or body double of Dabi, and he basically attacks him, and Aizawa basically rips him apart and then finds out that he's mud, and he's like, oh, this is probably somebody's quirk. Deku knows where Kota is, and he actually acts like he actually cares, so he basically goes to where Kota is. Muscular is there, and he's about to kill Kota. Deku's just hiding in the cave, and he's like, whatever, I'm just gonna let him kill the kid. And then after he kills the kid, he kills Kota, and basically Deku comes out and is like, okay, Muscular, your next orders is to head down to the main area, and that is where the other villains are, so go over there. And he's like, oh wait, you're boss's son? He's like, yes, I am. Now don't tell them that I ordered you this, because, you know, this is like a mission that I have. So you can't give away my identity. He's like, got it, boss. And he basically activates his muscles and basically zooms out of there. Now, I might change this What If series or this part. If you don't like the dark turn I took there where Ida was actually killed by the Stain Killer, or what am I saying, Stain Killer, Hero Killer, and Kota was also killed by Muscular. And if you don't like this dark turn, I can probably change it. I'll probably put a poll up on the community tab if you actually like this part of it, and I could change it and start with a whole new part in the next week. So I can redo this part if you don't like it. And yeah, but I think this is the part where Deku would actually do this. I really believe that Deku would do this. Like, he would say, okay, Kota is like that kid, who cares about him if he dies. Ida is just gonna get in my way in the future, so who cares if he dies. So after this, Muscular will basically go down to the area where the other heroes are and the other students. So he basically lands there, and basically the heroes are like, what, who's this villain? And they basically see Kota's hat on his hand, and he's like, Kota! And he's like, oh, that little shrimp kid? Haha, I killed him. And they basically go rage and basically start attacking Muscular. And Muscular basically takes them down with a sweep and instantly killing them. But not the search hero, which had the power to search, and the 4 pixie bubs. So they basically take her because All For One needs that, needs her and her quirk to basically search and stuff. So they basically take her, he gives it to the Nomu, and basically Nomu just knocks her out and takes her wherever the base is. And then instead of basically Tokoyami going berserk and killing destroying or defeating one of the other villains, this time Dabi actually finds Tokoyami and surrounds him with his fire and completely controls him and basically burns Tokoyami and killing Tokoyami instantly. Then Mystery compresses in the air looking for Bakugo, and then he eventually finds him, and swiftly he takes Bakugo into the cage or into the marbles and basically takes him away and goes hide somewhere safely. And then Dabi eventually runs into Todoroki and Shoji because they team up, and then Dabi basically takes down and starts fighting them. Todoroki starts attacking him with his flames and ice, but that is just only for a temporary while until they actually get hurt by his flames. Toga eventually ends up getting a good amount of blood until where Uraraka actually passes out and she's on the floor, and then Toga just does a swift kill and basically kills Uraraka, and then she basically goes for Suie, and which she's stuck on the wall, and she basically kills her again. And yeah, Suie, Kota, Uraraka, who else? Tokoyami, and some of the heroes are already killed, and Ida, by the way, too, because of the hero killer Stain. And then actually Todoroki does get attacked by Blade Tooth, or I think that's what it's called, Moonfish, because he didn't actually get knocked out, but Tokoyami, so he actually ends up attacking Todoroki. So this time Dabi is going for Soji, and basically Blade Tooth is going for the Ice Dude, or why did I just call him Ice Dude? Todoroki. So eventually, basically, Dabi eventually basically incinerates Shoji and kills him on the spot. And basically, because Shoji's quirk is nothing compared to Dabi's quirk, and he can just basically turn him on fire and kill him instantly. Then it's 2 against 1 on Todoroki, and eventually he does get hurt and beat up and taken down by Dabi and Blade Tooth. And Blade Tooth actually cuts off an arm of Todoroki and starts munching on it, and the other body is basically incinerated by Dabi. So then they get a telepathic message to Dabi and all the members that we've already got Bakugo, so let's get out of here. And Dabi's like, already? Damn it, I want to incinerate other kids. Whatever, see ya. And basically Blade Tooth, Muscular, everybody goes through the portal, different areas in the map, and they basically leave. And Aizawa and all the other teachers basically storm the forest to find the other students, and they basically just find a lot of corpses. Todoroki's corpse, Tokoyami's corpse, Shoji's corpse, and basically Toga's corpse on the mountain. Eventually they do find him. And so Deku then arrives at Aizawa's. He basically injured himself and he's starting to heal with the blue flames, but then he basically starts doing his fake tears and says, I couldn't save them, but inside he's basically laughing. He's like, yes, finally. Now I can actually get All Might. This is getting exciting. So the students that are left in the class 1A are basically horrified. Their classmates have been incinerated, killed, and this young child and all the pro heroes except for Aizawa and the class 1B teacher haven't basically died or anything, but they're just shocked. It's like, why does this have to happen? And they realize, they get a big hit to their basically consciousness. It's like, I finally understand the weight and the suffering that heroes have to go through, and this is the price that they have to pay. So this news basically goes around every single country in the world that UA has done this really bad thing and villains have attacked them. A lot of students have been killed. Endeavor is basically pissed that his masterpiece has been killed, and he's basically going on the hunt everywhere. He's basically even worse than he was before. The world is just basically turning on UA, turning on heroes, because it's like heroes are messed up and stuff like that, and eventually the work basically goes into a dark place, and soon it goes into an even more dark place after the fight between All For One. They do end up putting the tracker on the Nomu. All Might this time doesn't really win, because, well, he does win against All For One, but he doesn't win in spirit, because his loss, and to basically see the symbol of peace into this skeleton looking old man, the world's basically plunging itself into darkness again, and the only people laughing in the end is basically All For One in his chambers, and basically Deku, he's laughing and crying. He's like, damn, my father's in jail now, but soon I'll basically become the next successor. And then basically inside of his Deku's house, there's like this red and black strip basically entering underneath his door, and basically transforms into like the spirit form of All For One. And he's like, hi my son, I'm finally sending you this power of mine. It's like, yes father, I'm ready. And it basically goes inside of Deku, and he gets one All For One and is now the next boss. And then he basically goes to Shigaraki's place, and then he takes Muscular's power and then does that, and Shigaraki immediately realizes this is like, right, I understand. And every single person in the area basically bows to Deku and is like, you are our boss now, lead us to victory, to a world filled with evil, destruction, and without the symbol of peace. And that is also the day where Deku actually basically leaves UA and says, I'm not going there, and then basically plays this clip and puts on this like mask. Is like, I am All For One. And All Might sees this, he's shocked, like, what's happening? And he basically goes to All For One in the jail cell and basically talks, what is this video right now? And he's like, ha 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 ha, that's my successor. I gave him All For One before being locked up, and now he has All For One, and every other power that I absorbed. I'm quirkless right now, All Might. And All Might's shock is like, damn it, All For One doesn't die no matter what we do. And let's just say All Might does have One For All in him, because he never actually gave it to anyone. Yeah, he'd never, I'm pretty sure he didn't give it to anyone, but if he did give it to someone, it'd probably be Mirio. So he's probably going to rush to Mirio to give him One For All right now, because he's about to lose it. Then in the video says, I am the successor of that villain that you saw All Might fighting, and now I have his quirk. Now the world will be plunged in chaos. And that's it. Make sure to like the video if you actually like this part. If you don't, basically just comment down below to change it and redo this part, because I took a pretty big dark turn in this moment, because in this period of the anime, it's really dark and there's a lot of villain attacks and like Stain, all this stuff that could have happened if Deku wasn't a villain. So yeah, this was pretty dark, and I'm gonna basically meditate to cleanse my soul of this darkness. Anyways guys, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and as always, Anime Junkie out.